Breaking news, and I'm not going to use the sounder. I'm just going to tell you what it is. An email, much like earlier this week when interim president John Engler released an email statement. Today, former athletic director Mark Hollis released an email to all athletic department staff. Now, come on now, Mark. You knew everybody would see it, so let's just be real about it. It's short, so I'll read it to you. And then I kind of want to get all our thoughts in order. And again, it's another shot at ESPN, and I'll tell you why that's important. But let me read it to you. Before too much time passed, I'm reaching out to you to say thank you. Your efforts for MSU and athletic department are valued by many people. This is the time we all must pull together with a unified focus aimed at enhancing a healthy and safe campus. I'm forever grateful for your efforts toward that common community goal. There are challenges that must be faced and addressed. The voices of brave survivors and the echoes from a supportive MSU student body and campus community rightfully call for a culture of optimum safety and calmness. I'm confident you will continue to be a part of positivity, enhancing this way of life. As I stated in my retirement announcement, my commitment to cooperate and be transparent with all investigations is in place, and it always has been. In doing this, I can state with certainty that there were inaccurate, incomplete, and misleading statements made and then reported by ESPN. Nancy and I made the decision to retire. While we love serving Spartans, we'll miss all of you on a daily basis. We have confidence in you and your ability to continue to strive for the highest values. Thanks again for your commitment to the university community. Student athletes, we are grateful for the impact you have on our family and all Spartans. Mark Hollis. Okay, so let me, I've got a bunch of thoughts here, but I'll throw the number out, 248-539-9797. Bizarre. In one sense, Mark could have said all these things when he retired the day of the OTL report. He had to have an idea of what was coming down the pike with the OTL report. Now, whether people are just lying to my face or the people I've talked to actually know, flat out, the optics of it looked terrible, but Mark retiring had nothing to do with OTL. Everything to do with the conclusion of Larry Nassar being sentenced because he was done. Hollis has had health problems in the past. I wouldn't be surprised if that's a part of it now. I know the optics make it look like dude's running. So let me go right to that point before people start dialing in with that point. If you had something to hide, what is the two last things you would do right now? One, make a statement. And two, attack ESPN. You don't do it. If you thought that in any way, shape, or form, your former athletic department that was under your purview was going to have skeletons unearthed, did things wrong, partook in a cover-up, or, as ESPN insinuated, created a culture of secrecy and empowerment of sexual violence, you don't go and talk about how proud you are of the athletic department. You don't openly attack ESPN. You don't do it. Now, here's the other thing, and this is what stupid people like Wojo refuse to understand. You don't get to make these statements unless it was cleared by everybody, Engler on down. This is a buttoned-up investigation. You got everything to lose and very little to gain. There is no way Engler was going to be allowed to make that statement without being fully apprised of what's going on, where the investigations are at, what is our risk, what is our liability, where are we at. Wojo thinks Engler just came in with a party hat and dropped a statement.
He was a governor. He's used to having a team tell him what's going on and having research.
Look, I like Bob. I do. And, I'll kid around with Bob a lot. I thought the other day Bob sounded like an idiot. I thought he sounded like an old, out-of-touch Wolverine idiot. And that's sad because Bob's a very intelligent guy. I thought his take on Engler was terrible. Now, Mark Hollis here, you've got no reason to talk. Not only do you talk, but you're heaping praise upon the athletic department. Dangerous. And you're attacking ESPN. More dangerous. Unless, of course, we get back to the flow chart from the beginning. Maybe MSU doesn't have anything to hide because maybe this OTL report was a stink bomb. Again, OTL wanted to connect D'Antonio and Izzo and Nasser and an overriding culture of cover-up, of sexual predators, etc. And we are now almost 3 full weeks later, and they're yet to draw one single tie for Izzo and D'Antonio. You have had Mark D'Antonio drop the microphone and basically say, come and get me. I didn't do anything wrong. You've had the interim president of the school come out and blast ESPN for being sensationalistic journalism. Now you have the former AD from the clouds after retiring doing the opposite of what a dude who was trying to stay one step ahead of the posse would do and talking. Guys who are running away because they did something wrong, they're in Montana right now, like former New York Giants head coach Ray Handley. And he attacks ESPN. I'd love to get your thoughts on this, guys. From the very beginning, I told you, if and when ESPN produces a single piece of evidence that Tom Izzo or Mark D'Antonio had failure to report, had failure to, I don't even know, a cover-up, a scheme, a scandal, I'd be the first guy to burn it down. But how many more people now? Look, Hollis has got everything to lose here. Hollis knows everybody's checking up and down on him, right? You don't just retire and run away. But maybe with a statement like this, as bizarre as it is, maybe this is Hollis's way of saying, I got nothing to hide. And oh, by the way, ESPN's full of it. And if you think he sent this email without approval and just went rogue, I think you're trying too hard. I really would like to know where people are at now. We talked about the John Engler thing the other day. He directly attacked ESPN. And then ESPN rewarded him by taking his statements out of context and putting it on the bottom line scroller. Now Hollis has come out. I think the tide is starting to turn. And no, again, when people call up, no, I don't think suing ESPN. No, you're not going to do that. Don't even know if you can do it. I'm just trying to connect the dots that if Hollis had something to hide, this is the last thing he would do. If John Engler didn't have absolute assurances that they were in the clear, I don't think he makes the statement he made. And Bob had some harebrained, like I said, he came in with a party hat. I don't buy it. I don't buy it for a second. Two 248-539-9797. And again, if you want to just say you think the whole statement's full of crap, hey, it's free country. You're welcome to. But explain to me how that behooves him from making. Like, how does that help Mark Hollis to come out and lie? He retired, didn't need to say anything. The next time he'd talk would be to an investigator, unless he's already talked to investigators. So why would you go public with anything? He knew this email would get out. The email list to the Spartan Athletic Department is probably 300-400 names. It's the same way Engler sending his email out to all Spartans. He knew it would get out. MSU's taking a different road to get their message out. But the more they talk, the more they have to lose. So either this is some crazy double down, or it's what we thought. The OTL report was poorly put together. The two key witnesses, not the strongest, not witnesses or victims if you want to call them that. And the tie into D'Antonio and Izzo, that's where ESPN crossed the line. And that's the tie-in that they really didn't have, and they got sensational and tried to make it. I'm interested. I want to see what you make of Mark Hollis' comment. Email, statement, whatever you want to call it. 248-539-9797. Sully, I want your and David's thoughts after the break as well. I know you guys have a lot to say, but I kind of pulled a Bill Walton there and did all the talking. I'm sorry about that.